All right. Today we're going to be talking about the first day of the 7-day challenge called Get Your Act Together. And we're going to be discussing frameworks. Let me make sure I write the word down because I love to write. So, frame work. So, our minds are going to work inside of a frame. It's really a box. And most of us hate the idea of living and working inside of a box. But the fact is, we have no choice. We all live in a box. Now, that box is created by a four-sided shape, which keeps us working and living and moving, creating inside that box, inside that framework. Our framework is built through childhood and it continues to be reinforced. And so the four sides are very important. So I'm going to talk about the sides. So one side is your view of yourself. That is the first side of the framework, your view. Very important. Most of us are not acutely aware of our view of ourselves. We have some idea, and the more you dig, the more you become more aware of your viewpoint of yourself. And you'll realize what level of confidence you have when it comes to doing things new. Anytime you're doing something that you've never done before, you're going to test and evaluate and really understand your viewpoint of yourself. So, the clear identity that you have of yourself and your capabilities, the more you are willing to take chances and risk. But the less you understand and have confidence in yourself, the less likely you are to take risk. So, that framework, one side is how you view yourself, the other side is how you view others. So, we are moving out inside the universe, inside the world. We're always conscious, whether we want to admit it or not, how we are seen and viewed by others. Our perception that the perception that other people have of us is key to us being successful. It's also key to the things that we attempt in life, is the view, how we view others. Excuse me, how we view others. What we think about other people can determine, will contribute to whether you go start something new, whether we think people are going to support us or not, whether we think people love us or not, whether we think people care about us. All these different things is a side to our framework in which we work. So, how we view others. The third one is how we think others view us. How we think others view us. Whether we admit it, we wonder how we're viewed by others. We wonder how we appear to others. It's going to determine or be a factor in what we do. Posting on social media regularly about our business, posting on social media regularly to make an offer about our business. Certain things challenge, trying something brand new that no one in your community, in your tribe has ever done. That's going to be determined by how you think others view you. Those three sides. Now, to me, the most valuable piece and the key side of all of them is how you view your creator. how you view your creator. That piece of it, to me, is the cornerstone to all of this. Because even if you think you are crap, one side of that box that you live in, even if you don't look at yourself in the most amazing light, and only you know that in the background, behind the scenes, how well you view yourself. Um, Only you can see that. And so you have to evaluate how you really feel about yourself. And even if you don't have a lot of self love, and then if you think other people think you're crap, even if you know you think other people are trash, I'm gonna put X's there. Even if those three sides are horrible, if you have an amazing, powerful, positive viewpoint on creator, if that's on point, you can have a very enlightening and rewarding experience within your box, your framework, your frame in which you do things, all of your thoughts, all of your possibilities, all of your hopes, all of your dreams, all of your wishes, all of your expectations. If this right here is on point, it will shift the rest of your framework. If this is on point, none of these will shift that, but this will shift everything. How you see the creator, your role in this life, in this journey, whether you feel loved by some unspoken entity or whether you feel like you're the worst thing in the world and God hates you, God's mad at you, or the universe is mad at you, or karma can't stand you, whatever you want to fill in about the bigger existence, how you are perceived and how you are perceived by it is key to that side. Now, within this, so this framework that you've been working in and living in and moving in inside of here, this is us, this little bitty dot. And this framework that we've been living in order to move outside of this framework, you're going to have to reevaluate these sides. You're going to have to make sure that these sides are built on true premises. True premises. That means you have to start with a statement of truth in order to build a better framework. So if you have a bunch of false statements about yourself, well, you will never be able to successfully build a framework that can hold and sustain your vision. So you're trying to say all these affirmations, but because of your viewpoint of yourself, you say things, but you don't believe it. You say, I'm going to manifest wealth in my life. But the reality is, you don't believe it. You don't feel like you deserve it. You carry guilt. You carry shame. You carry doubt. All these different things because someone told you as a child and filled your head with certain things. Now you have a thick layer to break through. All of this area, here's you, here's us. And we have to try to break out of these sides and thoughts that have framed our world. So, low self-esteem. All these different statements that people say. I'm unworthy. That's a framework. People are naturally evil, right? People will always do you wrong. Do you wrong. All of these are statements. I can't stand my mother. I can't stand my father. Like all of these statements we have is a framework. It's framing all of our thoughts. So now here you are, you have a frame in which you work in, and now you're trying to be successful. Now you're all of a sudden, you want to bring positivity and light to the world, and you want to be this being of good energy, but you have a framework, a mindset that needs to be replaced because the sides of your framework are all built off of negative energy, uh, built off of comments and statements that you've heard over the years and years and years, this framework. And you may not be aware that it's even there. You might not even know it. And that's why you have to continuously dig and ask questions about, why do I think that way? Why am I not trying to pursue what's really in my heart? Why are you not really, really, really in alignment with your dream? Why do you keep putting it off? Why do you keep waiting? What are you waiting for? It's framework. It's the frame of mind. It's your frame of reference. Now, this is literally a window frame. It's a window frame. So not only is it the window or the box that you live in, but it's also the window in which you look at the world. It's your outlook. It's a window frame. So windows, you look out them, but also people look through them at us. So you're looking through this window that is blurred, foggy, tinted, cracked. It's cracked because the perspective and the perception that you have of the world, because of all of the stuff that's happened to you, because of all of the stuff that's happened in your life and that you've watched happen to other people, your perspective, your perception of the world is low vibrating. And you wear a smile, and we wake up and say all these wonderful things because that's what they tell us to do. But yet we're filled with a window, a perception of unbelief and doubt that is framing everything we do. So what does that mean? So we start our business in this framework. We date in this framework. We, get married in this framework. We work, jobs, employee in this framework. Our friendships are all in this framework. So what am I saying? Is it only the negative? What about the positive things that you do feel that are important and the positive traits that you do have? We'll talk about that, because we're only as strong as the weakest link. And some of these are really, 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 really holding us back. Old relationships. Someone who told you you'll never be nothing without me. Like all these thoughts framing. And then we come over here to the creator. So we have all of these energies. And now we say, oh, I've done a lot of stuff, so I'm suffering because of karma. God hates me. The universe is against me. I just have bad luck. I was born with bad luck. Like there are people whose lives are framed by those words. Can you hear what I'm saying? If you are understanding, go ahead and put something in the chat and just say, I got it. It's making sense. Say it's making sense. So if you're living in this, there's a lot of layers that we have to keep breaking through. Layer upon layer upon layer. Layer upon layer upon layer. Layers of life stuff that we have to break through in order to create a new framework, to create a new mindset. And so we have to be patient with ourselves in that process. So drop something in the chat if y'all are following me right now so far. Because I'm telling you, this framework and how your mind is framed is everything. Another word for framework is paradigm. 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 So we have to go about shifting the paradigm that we live in. The paradigm that we live in. And it's that shape of our thoughts and the flow of energy that continuously has built momentum in a specific direction. There's a lot of momentum. Think about a cruise ship and how hard it is, or not hard, but how slow a cruise ship has to take to turn. It can't just turn a sharp corner like a motorboat or a canoe, just turn. That's how we are. We're in our 30s, 40s, and 50s and 60s. We got all this momentum, and now we want to change directions. Well, we have to make literally 1-degree turns. We have to slowly begin to move that ship to go in a different direction. We have to slowly do that because we're breaking out of a paradigm. So that's number one when we're talking about frameworks and being able to shift, realign, and break out of a particular mindset that we've had for so long. But you have to be aware. You have to be aware of it. You have to pay attention. That's what that is. So these are the four sides of the framework, and that's what I want to end on that note. And I'm gonna stop this video real quick because that might be a lot. Okay.